Hello, everyone. Lawrence Fleming here again. There are things happening so fast, I didn't want to wait for another 2 or 3 days to drop another video. So I'm just going to bring you up to date on some information I've just gotten. Some of it's I've known, but I've forgot about. So I'm going to tell you about it to help remind me. The first thing coming up, and I'm not doing this in my normal format. This is just off the cuff. I don't have anything pre-written. The first thing that I want to talk about is we have a prediction for this week for the rapture date. I know some people say we're not supposed to do that. Other people say we are if we could figure it out. Well, in the past, they haven't gotten it right. And until the next couple of days pass, I don't know whether this guy's right or not. If you want to look him up on YouTube, Dr. Barry I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read the fine print here. Dr. Barry AWE. He's a little unorthodox, but he's very, very knowledgeable. And basically, he's recalculated the calendar for this year because he said the Jewish calendar is off. They started counting before the solstice, and they should have waited until after. So he's recalculated it, and so we have new dates. We thought that all the holy days were over with, but actually this week we have the Feast of Weeks, or Shavuot, and that's going to happen 24th, 25th, and 26th time frame, overlapping there a little bit, as a potential rapture time frame event. Now, we don't have anything that really says for sure that this is going to happen, so I'm just giving you the information. I'm the messenger here. I haven't checked everything that he's talked about because there's a lot of detail. You'd really have to dig a lot to find all the stuff that he spent the time to look into. If he's right, it's this week. If he's not right, I still think it's this year, just from what I see happening. So check him out. And the one that I'm looking at right now, Rapture confirmation notes for tonight's live event. So he was going to go on another show, and so he did a recap of his longer video that he had before. If you want to dig back for that, you can see where he goes into all the detail. Okay, if it's like reading the phone book sometimes. You got to sit there with notes and cross-reference and do all this stuff. Okay, so that's coming up as a potential rapture watch this week. The next thing, and I like the fact that he's attempting to recalculate the calendar, because so many times in the past they've messed up on the calendar. Jesus was not born 2021 years ago. Our date calendar is off. The Roman guy who started the calendar for the West and what we use today was calculated wrong because he did it wrong. It's off by 7 to 20 years, depending on who you talk to. So Jesus was born 7 AD and his ministry ended, 33, 37 AD, whatever it is. The calendars are off. And the Jewish calendars are always off from ours anyway, because they have 360 days. We use 365. Their calendar is based on the moons because their whole livelihood was based on farming, and you have to be able to do all this stuff right. And ours is based on the sun. So there's always been differences anyway. So according to Barry, this is the Jewish calendar 315 this week. I know we're in June, but I'm talking about the Jewish calendar. And it's based on their Shabbats that they have. So it's not based on our time frame and the moons. And we're also going to have a strawberry moon this week. It's going to coincide with this event. So that's interesting. Okay, moving on. Another friend that I follow online, his name is Nelson Walters, WALTERS. I'm not going to provide the links. I'm just doing this off the cuff real quick. You can look him up. He did a red heifer update, and we've always been told that they have to have a red heifer to sanctify the priests in the temple so they can go back to doing their normal things, their sacrifices and that. And he says in his video that the expert that he relies on over there says that they don't have to have the red heifer to begin the sacrifices. Yes, the priesthood and all that stuff, but not the sacrifices, as long as they're on the Temple Mount. They have a portable altar. The Temple Mount Institute already has everything built to go in the temple if they're going to build it. And they actually have a portable altar that they can roll around. They just need permission to roll it up on the Temple Mount and to do their sacrifices. We have a new government. The new president of Israel is more conservative, if you will, more right than Netanyahu. He might work this out to where they can go up there and do this. This also might be something for the Antichrist to work out sometime down the road. I don't know. But his expert says they don't need the red heifer to begin the sacrifices. And we know that midway through the tribulation time frame, as it's called, or the 70th day of Daniel, midway through, the Antichrist stops the sacrifices. But he also defiles the temple, so they will have to have a temple eventually. And that's only, 3.5 years into the tribulation. Okay, and another important news event, another one that I follow, and I did a video a couple times back on, a couple videos back on who I like to watch. And Emir Safati is one of them that I like. He lives there. I think he lives in Galilee, and he's been reporting on what's going on over there and giving us Bible studies and that for a long time. And he said that there was a major hacking of Iran's radar, and a facility was attacked while their radar was down. So Iran has got to be fit to be tied. They tried to keep completely out of this by having Hezbollah and Hamas and all these other surrogates do all the fighting. But everybody knows Iran's funding it, taking care of it. It's been very obvious. So they can't keep out of it. They've got to be ready to go to war. I don't think they're waiting for the bomb, the nuclear bomb. They're just waiting for the right time. And I think if they have all their northern friends with them, they could start the Gog-Magog war anytime. Of course, Gog would be Putin up in Russia, so we can get that started anytime they want to do that. So that's all I have. 3 major events. The biggest one being a major Rapture watch for this week. If we don't have it this week, then we're going to have to wait till the fall for the other holidays coming up. If it's going to happen on a holiday, on a Jewish holiday, but we don't know. It's always imminent. It can happen anytime. There are no prerequisites for the rapture, except for it has to happen before the Antichrist can come on the scene. But there's nothing left. There's never has been anything there for it to happen anytime. It's going to happen, from what it looks like when reading, close to the start of the tribulation time frame. And the Gog-Magog war is going to happen close. It's either going to happen just before, right at it, or sometime early into it, but it's not going to be very far into it. And the rapture is going to happen just before, at it, or sometime into it, not very far into it. Again, it's all God's timing. We don't have to know. It's nice to know. People try to calculate it, but we don't have to know. You just have to be ready. It's just like the Galilean wedding. You don't know when the groom is coming for the bride. They have to be ready. And more often than not, they came at midnight. So it could happen in the middle of the night. We have our full moon. I think it starts on the 24th to the 25th time frame, something like that. They're saying the rapture is on the 25th. I'm not doing anything other than telling you what they're saying. Be ready. If this encourages you to be ready, then I've done my job. Okay. Until we meet in the skies, God bless.